Welcome back to Deer Valley Homestead with me, Andy. This week we have an absolute disaster. Red mites have struck in our chicken house, and they have struck bad. One thing I do on this channel is I do show you when something goes wrong. I show you how bad it is, and I show you the ways that I try to fix it. And in this case, I cannot believe how bad this has got. I can't believe it's got as bad as it's got, as quick as it's got. And I also just can't believe that I didn't see it sooner, that it was getting this bad. What we have in here is an infestation of red blood mites. They are little mean suckers. They live in the crooks and crevices, any little cracks in the wood. And at night time, they come out and they feed on your chicken's blood. They bite the feet, anywhere where they can access the skin, and they have a little drink of blood and they go back to the little crack. Alright, step one, we're going to kill with fire. I'm going to go around the whole coop on the inside and the outside. Anywhere where I see some bugs or some eggs, I'm going to give it a good blast. And of course, it's a wooden coop, so, you know, just in case. As anyone who watches the channel will know, the drill I need is always at the other house. Incredible. It's not even that hot and sunny and the GoPro keeps turning off. Alright, we're going to get this roost out of here. Spray down, look under here, see how it goes. I think I made this small enough to actually get removed somehow. I hope I did anyway. Man, there was a lot of these guys. I think the fire helped though, I don't see too many live ones. I have to remember, netting on roof. Every time I do anything in here, I forget about the net on the roof. And I hit it like that. Well, I was worried that they might have got under here and how I was going to focus, but doesn't seem so bad. This lot are not impressed. It doesn't seem so bad, but there are some, so all of this needs to come out. Alright ladies, what is it? Alright, well, we knew there was lots of them, and there we have it. And look at this, if I squish it, that should all be inside my chickens. And man, this one's even worse. Yo. Alright, I'm gonna get some more fire. These guys really were everywhere, and they still are everywhere. Horrible. Man, this sucks. You see them all? This is way worse than I imagined. I'm not a big one for killing things, but you know, this is one of those situations where these guys do not need to be here. Oh my god. This must have been getting worse and worse for much longer than I thought. I thought this was maybe 2 weeks since I saw the first ones. Ladies, it's okay. So look, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be under here, but there's definitely at least one or two. So that means the floor is coming out as well. Well, I wasn't sure about pulling that out, but it's pretty obvious that they were behind there as well. It's getting more and more obvious that these guys must have been here a lot longer than I realized. I thought I was on top of it last week because there was only a few, but clearly I was wrong. Alright, well unfortunately the GoPro's given up, so we're back to the phone. I've taken the floor out, I've just burned any bugs I could see under there. It's way worse than I imagined. So anyway, I have burned off everything I can with the blowtorch, and now I'm going to spray out the coop with some high pressure water and try to get as many of them as I can out. And then I think we're going to lime wash the inside of the coop. That's not going to kill any bugs, but it should help make it less comfortable for them. Something like this. I know this isn't going to get all of them, but it should get quite a few. Alright team, I'm off for lunch. I've spent 2 hours spraying that thing out with water, and every time I spray, more bugs are coming out, more bugs are coming out. So I'm going to have a break, have some lunch, and then I'm going to do the same until there's at least less bugs coming out. It is worse than the worst imaginable scenario I could have imagined times 10. It's just next level. I'm so upset. I should have seen it sooner somehow. Should have found it sooner. The only good news I've got so far is that the other chicken house, the pheasant house, the broilers and the guineas don't seem to have any. So I'm going to give them a full decontamination anyway, just to be sure. Because, you know, if the chickens have got them, occasionally a guinea goes in the chicken area, maybe carries a couple. Let's not risk it. Let's just deal with all of them in one go. What's up, ladies and gents? So, I have never seen anything like this. I have spent 2 hours spraying this coop down, and I've let it dry for an hour, and if you can see, hopefully, there are still millions of them. So the product that's going to kill these guys is not going to arrive until at least tomorrow. So I'm going to spray it down one more time, just to get rid of as many as possible. And then I'm going to fill it full of diatomaceous earth. I do have some of that, so that's a good thing. But look, even out here. Where's it gone? I can see it. There. And look. There's another one. And these guys are all full of blood. I feel very bad for my chickens. Can't believe it got this bad without me noticing it. It's just crazy. I should point out, I'm not a completely crazy person. I know that spraying this coop down with water like this is not going to kill all of these bugs. However, I have nowhere else to put the chickens tonight. They have to go back in here. And this way I figure I'm at least getting rid of as many of them as I can before I fill it with the diatomaceous earth. And maybe paint some lime on there as well. We'll see. So I know that I'm not killing them all with this water. If anything, I'm putting a bunch of them on the floor. But anything I can do, I'm going to do. And that's why this is getting sprayed down so much. And we'll continue to get sprayed down for the next few hours just to get as many of these bugs out as possible. I know I'm not going to get them all. I know I'm not going to kill them all. If I'm lucky, I might get 75%. But that is 75% less that are eating my chickens tonight. And that's a win. Alright team, we're progressing well. We have a very light lime wash across all the walls. I do wish it was a little bit thicker, but I just couldn't get the spray going, so I had to do it with a brush in the end, which is less than ideal, but better than nothing. The bit that I did manage to spray on the door looks awesome. I wish it all looked like that. I have to mention one more time, this lime will not kill any mites. This lime only helps a little bit in that it lowers the pH to an alkali and makes it a less comfortable place for them to live. It's not going to kill any of them. It's not going to wipe them out, stop them having babies, anything like that. It just makes it less comfortable for them. So it should help to reduce numbers slowly. The diatomaceous earth and the other chemical are what is going to really cut the numbers down. And hopefully the spray that I've done with the hose pipe has knocked some of them out. And we'll see, hopefully that slows them down just a little bit. We will come out here tonight with a torch after dark and see just how bad it is. I saw it last night and it was the stuff of nightmares. It was horrible. Millions of them, millions. I'm so upset that it got this bad. Anyway, we're going to do that, and then we're going to lime the roost as well, because why not? Right team, we have done everything we can do today. That is to say, we have pressure washed it, sprayed it with the hose, and we have limed the walls and the floor. And that will hopefully make it less comfortable for these bugs to be in here. I also put some lime on the roosts. I put it on the roosts much thinner. It says it's completely safe for them to roost on limed roosts. However, if you don't know, you don't know. So that's what I've gone with. I'm going to throw a little bit of bedding on the floor, just enough that the poop isn't going to stick to the wood. And then we're going to throw some diatomaceous earth in here, close it up, and we'll let the chickens in later on tonight. Hopefully we have reduced the numbers of these red chicken mites, because there were hundreds of thousands of them, if not millions. You saw some of the footage. I cannot believe it got that bad without me noticing. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking, there were a few signs that I didn't think about as much and I missed. So if you think this might be happening to you, these are a few of the things that I noticed that didn't click straight away. Number one was the egg reduction, which I did notice we were getting slightly less eggs than usual, but we also had some chickens that weren't laying yet, so I wasn't exactly sure where we should be, but definitely eggs started to drop off. No big surprise there. Before the eggs dropped off, we started to get more eggs that had broken shells. The shells weren't weaker to the touch, but around the top, the thin part of the egg, that was getting little hairline cracks on it. And I wonder if that's connected to these mites, maybe taking some of the stuff out of the blood that the chickens needed for the eggshell. I'm not 100% sure, just one of the things that I noticed. And then I guess the most obvious one was that I noticed some mites maybe 2 weeks ago on the eggs, and at the time we took the carpet out the egg box, we sprayed some diatomaceous earth, and we left them to it. And I really didn't see any more problems until the eggs stopped almost completely this week. And when I opened this up last night, they were everywhere. It was disgusting. So it's a big fail from me. I think I should have seen a lot of this a lot sooner and caught it a lot sooner. I feel very bad for my chickens, but that's what happened. It's one thing to learn from. If it happens a second time, then that's me really bad. But if it happens once, I think it's just part of the learning process. And while I feel bad about it, I'm not going to lose any sleep. So, diatomaceous earth, bedding, diatomaceous earth, seal. We'll let the chickens in later tonight so this dust has as much time as it can to settle. And we're going to bring you along tonight to see how many mites are still here after doing all of this. I'll tell you what, there were a lot more around before I put the lime on. Let's see. I think you probably all know you should not breathe this stuff in, so I tend to throw it and run to the other end of the garden and wait 10 minutes. So I'll be back. My way of doing it is just on a spatula. See you later. Alright, that has settled down pretty well. I would normally put a lot more in, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to change this in 3 to 4 days, so all I really want is enough to cover the bottom so that we're not pooping onto the wood. It used to be covered. Alright team, it's time to find out. Did we make any progress? I don't have the footage from last night because I didn't take any, so we will see, but last night it was insane. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of them. Every chicken must have had a few hundred, minimum. There was that many. Now I can see some little ones on the outside. So that is not a good sign. But let's see. These ones look young, like they haven't fed yet. Let's see about the inside. Okay. Wow, okay. Some of it is much better. Can see one in the middle there. Maybe you can see it. And oh, there we go. There's a party of them right there. Now, yesterday, all the bars were like that. So, I'm going to take that as a win. It's still a lot more than I would like to see. But the diatomaceous earth should take care of some of them. It's a bit worrying that they seem to be eating the lime. Don't want to get my head in here too far, but Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. We haven't won the war, but we have won the first battle. Because this is 10 times better than last night. Got the windows open for them these days because it's so hot. So we can see from here. Apart from some overgrown toenails. Do I see any? Oh yeah, underneath the beam I see a few. Which beam? This beam. I see a few under here. Compared to yesterday, that's a lot better. Alright, well let's hope this diatomaceous earth gets the rest of them. Hey teriyaki, show us how beautiful you are. Yes! Alright team, it's the next day. I had a quick look this morning and there are definitely a few places where they congregated overnight. And that's fine, that happens. But we are going to kill them with fire. Alright team, it is night number 2 after the big clean. And we are going to check what is going on in the chicken house. I think it's good news. Remember when we discovered it, hundreds of thousands, probably thousands per chicken. It was really bad. After the cleaning, we were down to maybe 100 per chicken, something like that. And tonight, I think we are down to almost none. So, this is night number 2 after the big clean. I think there's one there. Maybe right there. That's one. But you remember on the end of that cap the other day, there was in the hundreds of thousands. Okay, there's one there as well. You okay, lady? What about you? I don't think you're a lady. Okay, well that's generally good news. Okay, there's a few on the outside here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's still a few around. Alright. Oh yeah, there's a good bunch here too. These are young ones as well. These are ones that haven't fed yet, so they're still hatching somewhere. Okay. Work to be done. But compared to 2 nights ago, that is a world of difference. Between the burning, the lime and the diatomaceous earth, we are winning this battle. Alright, we're in luck. My package arrived, so we have the product. This is the stuff that I've found. It comes quite highly recommended. All the reviews say it works. I haven't used it before, so I don't know. But 12 milliliters of this, or 10 milliliters of this, sorry, with 1.6 liters of water gives me the right concentration. It does say online that it doesn't actually work if you make it stronger. It's some kind of coating that goes onto the walls and onto the roosts. And apparently these little mites will walk across it and get stuck to it, and they will not be able to get to the chickens. I don't fully understand it, like I say, but if it works, it works. So we'll do that. It does say to do it after dark, so we're going to wait until it's dark and then spray it. It says you can spray it with the chickens in there. It's not harmful to them. You don't have any egg withdrawal period or anything like that. So I will say that only 48 hours after cleaning, these guys all look a lot happier than they did a couple of days ago. And the eggs are back. We had 10 eggs today, which is the most we've had for a week. So just that spray out lime and diatomaceous earth has done enough to relieve enough stress from these guys that we're back in the eggs. Alright, there's our 10 mils of this stuff into the water. 1.6 litres of water. Gonna mix it and spray it. Alright, well, it says every surface, so I'm going for it. I mean, chicken's not going to be keen, but I need more pressure. It does say it's chicken safe, so this lady shouldn't have too much of a problem. Alright team, we are fully sprayed on this chicken house at least. I'm going to go and do the rest, but I'm not going to bore you with that. We'll come back in an hour, see if any bugs are stuck anywhere. Alright, it is, I don't know, an hour after I put the treatment on, and my phone says the flash is unavailable. Well, this is where they all were last night, having a party. I see something crawling. There's definitely still some there. It does say you have to wait about 3 days to get the maximum effect, so let's see. Well, good evening ladies and gentlemen. It is day 4. So we cleaned it on day 1. This is where we are up to. We still have a couple. Maybe you can see one nymph walking there. There's maybe one more. There's definitely still some around. So this is the first night after treatment, and it does say that it may take up to 3 days and to repeat after 7 days. So we can't expect it to have worked miracles, but between all the steps we have taken, we are down to minimal mites compared to where we were at, and the ladies are much happier. The big news for the day is that the egg laying is going up. From 0 eggs 4 days ago, we are up to 13 today. We are slowly winning this battle. Let's see who's in here. Oh, one of our accidental roosties. Looks pretty unhappy. Okay, let's have a look at your feet. Are there any mites around your feet? I do not see any, but I bet there's at least a couple somewhere. If you see any, let me know. But I don't see them. Alright. We are winning this battle. Alright team, well, there we have it. It's taken 4 days. We are down to very few mites, and I will update you in next week's video as well. But we're winning this battle. I was very worried that it was going to be weeks before we got any eggs again, and we are already on the up, so winning. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, like, anything you do to interact with this video will help us out, and I really appreciate it. We'll catch you all on the next one.